Hello, my name is Ruben Duarte, I'm a geographer and GIS specialist, and in today's video we're going to learn something quite interesting: how to detect urban heat islands using Landsat imagery. The website we're going to use is WestGIS Earth Explorer. To access it, you first need to create an account. It's simple to do, and then you'll have access to the platform where we can download the necessary files. Let's zoom into the Manchester area in England and use or click in use map to define the area we want to work with. I'll set the date range to the entire year of 2024, that is from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024, and then I will select imagery from the summer period. Um, I misclicked here because this is the American format, meaning we have to enter the month first, so I'll set 2024 again. Now it's correct. For cloud cover, I'll keep it at 10%. Since we are dealing with England, it's quite difficult to find perfectly clear images. I'll then choose an image from the summer season, since we're trying to represent warmer areas, so I'll go with this date here, July 29th. To proceed with the download, we'll click on this button called Options. This will show us level 2 surface reflectance bands and surface temperature bands. We're going to choose this one here, temperature, and then we deselect everything and select only this file, st_b10.tiff. That's the surface temperature band 10. Next, we click on Download All Selected Now to download only this band 10. Alright, download is complete. Let's drag it straight into our QGIS project, which is already open. And here is our satellite image. Let's click on the Esri base map so we can clearly see the area we want to study. I think this isn't the right location. Let me switch to the study area from Google since it includes labels. We're currently in Birmingham, but we want to move up north to Manchester, right here. Okay, this is the correct area. We can now remove this base map, and this will be the area we want to quickly analyze. We can see values ranging from 36 to 47, but if we check the informations, the value is actually much higher. If we click on Identify Features, we can confirm that. Now let's go to the raster calculator. In the raster tools section, we'll copy this formula, which will also be available in the video description. Here we just need to replace digital number with the name of the layer we have above. Simply double click here to insert it. We also need to adjust a few symbols since some of these operators aren't valid in this context, but I'll make sure to provide the correct version of the formula in the video description. Alright, now we have our values in Kelvin. However, I want to carry out the final analysis in degrees Celsius, so I'll also have the formula for that here. I'll go back to the raster calculator and copy the formula. Once again, I'll replace digital number with the corresponding layer and adjust the operators as needed. As mentioned, I'll leave the formula in the video description almost ready to use, so it's just a matter of copying and pasting. I'll name this output Celsius so we clearly know that we're working with. I'll also correct this minus symbol, which was using an hyphen. Now we can click OK and we'll get our layer in degrees Celsius. To finish, we can click on Layer Properties and check the information for this layer. We'll see that the values have decreased significantly. We can also go to the Symbology tab and change to a more appropriate color scale. I'll use one where lower values are shown in blue and higher values in red. This way the red areas clearly represent the hottest zones. Now let's carry out a quick analysis. For example, this area here appears to have lower temperatures, and we can clearly see that this is because the surface is water. We also have this green area here, which appears to be a park, showing cooler zones as well. Here we can see an urbanized area with somewhat, actually quite higher values. Let's take a closer look at some of these more intense red areas. If we inspect this bright red zone, we can see that it clearly corresponds to industrial areas. It's quite evident that industrial zones tends to show up stronger red tones, meaning significantly higher surface temperatures. Um, Looking at the area here, we can see a very reddish patch, which again turns out to be an industrial area. Let's zoom in a bit more, one or two more times. For example, this blue area here, let's check what it is and why it has such a low temperature. There must be a plausible reason for this lower value, although visually it's not immediately obvious. Still, there's certainly some factor causing it to be cooler than its surroundings. Let's explore another area. Here we have the river, of course. Now let's check this strongly red zone here and see what it is. Once again, it's an industrial area. We can even turn on the base map to better understand what's there. For example, here we have Hellwood Transmissions, and over there it looks like a Land Rover facility. Alright, this was just a quick video to show how this can be done. Download your own images and explore it yourself. This is really a quite interesting exercise. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and comment what you want to learn next.